Hey guys, Andy here, and welcome to my second Q&A on the channel. This is to celebrate 200,000 subscribers, so let's get into some questions. Jamie asks, have you looked into the VineSource corruptors? I've seen the videos that VineSource put out with the corruptions in like Mario Kart and the other games that they did, but I haven't actually played with them personally. Maybe I should, maybe that's a new series. I did have an idea for a hack series months and months ago. It was going to be called For Hack's Sake. I may go forward with that eventually, but right now I'm too focused on Son of a Glitch and the other series on the channel, so who knows? I don't have any priority over it right now. Alan asks, glitches are a matter of button timing. How do you improve your timing skills? If there's one thing I've learned over the past 2 years of making this series, practice makes perfect. You sometimes get a feel for the timing on certain glitches, but it's basically just practice, doing the same thing over and over and over again. If you're into doing glitches, you better be prepared to do the same thing again and again and again and fail time and time again. But once you do get it, man, is it a thrill ride. So keep going. If you're trying to improve your timing, just keep practicing. Sandy asks, glitching must get pretty frustrating. What do you do to wind down between challenges? I gotta be honest, there isn't a lot of downtime from doing YouTube videos. It's pretty much constant. It's a 24-hour-a-day job, 7 days a week. Any small bits of free time I do get is always spent with the family. Any time outside of that, I try to kind of peel off and get stuff done with projects outside of YouTube, but that's difficult in itself. And you're kind of always drained from doing YouTube videos. You kind of just want to break and not be creative at all. But every now and again, you get in kind of a creative flow and stuff just begins to happen. But there isn't a lot of free time, to be honest. I really hope I don't butcher the next name, but Miltus asks, did you ever think you would get this far in your YouTube career? The simple answer to that question is nobody ever thinks they're going to get that far or anywhere in their YouTube career. It's always just started out as fun, and then eventually, if it takes off, it takes off. For me personally, no. If you'd have asked me 2 years ago, did I think I would be where I am now, which is still not a massive amount of success really on YouTube, but YouTube is a huge platform when you really think about the millions of subscribers that other YouTubers have. I never dreamed I would get where I am now, so it's just one of those things where you do it because you love it, and if it does take off, that's fantastic, and I've been very fortunate, so yeah. Kerry asks, are you going to try and work on other projects or stick to YouTube glitches? I know you're great with animation and would love to write and draw a comic. Hopefully YouTube opens up these doors for you. Thank you, Kerry. I know Kerry personally, and she knows that I have dabbled in animation and comics previous to any of this YouTube stuff. As far as other projects, stuff I really want to do, I do want to go back to animation and do short cartoons. I know I was working on something last year which kind of got cancelled. That was the Shenmue animation. I am working on a couple of different things right now, trying to get back into animation, and there is the game I'm working on with Games+James. These are all things that I hope will come to fruition, but we'll see. Eventually, time will tell. Ashley asks, how does it feel that you now have 200,000 subscribers, and do you do anything outside of videos to celebrate your achievements on YouTube? 200,000 subscribers just blows me away. I'd never imagined that we would get this far. I remember just freaking out over 6,000 subscribers, and this was a long time ago now. How does it make me feel? It's a hard number to process. I can't really imagine that number in any real terms, so it still doesn't feel real to me. It just feels like I'm still doing the same thing I was doing 2 years ago, but now more people watch. So I don't know how it makes me feel in the grand scheme of things. Humble is one word I've always used. And do I do anything to celebrate these achievements outside of YouTube? Not really. I mean, the YouTube world just moves so quickly. I don't really get time to process it before we're just moving along. We just keep going. I think when I got the silver play button, that was quite a big deal to me, but there wasn't any celebrations as such. Michael asks, do you use emulators or real hardware to do the glitches? Where you can, use real hardware. It's much easier for you guys at home to replicate the things you see in the videos if you actually own the game or the console that thing is happening on. However, there are certain consoles like, for instance, the Game Boy, which doesn't have a video out, so in those cases I'll use an emulator just to get the better video quality, otherwise those videos wouldn't happen. So you would have no Pokemon glitches, you would have no Link's Awakening, you know, those kind of games. Gonzalo asks, will you ever collaborate with a speedrunner? If you go back and watch the Ocarina of Time 3D episode, that video was actually made with the help of Ben Stevens. Now, Ben Stevens is the Ocarina of Time 3D world record holder for all categories of that game. He was on stream with me every day for about 2 weeks, kind of giving me the guided tour of the glitches in that game. Without Ben and another runner called Aaron, I don't think that episode would have had quite the amount of detail that it ended up having. We wanted to make it as precise and easy to understand as it could be so that newer runners could get into the game or just try out the glitches with some precision. So yeah, in a sense, I have collaborated with speedrunners in the past, and I will continue to do so. They're the whole reason that I do the series in the first place. Michael asks, what is your favorite color? Blue. That was nice and easy. Sheehan asks, will you ever revive Bachs Robot Studios? Now, Bachs Robot Studios is the other YouTube channel I have where I posted music and little bits of animation. I haven't done anything on there for about a year, maybe 2. Maybe I'll revive it eventually. Chances are I'll probably just turn it into a playthrough channel. I don't know, I haven't really thought that far ahead. But as of right now, I don't really have any plans for it. Jacob asks, do you watch any anime and which is your favorite? I haven't watched anime for a very long time. I used to love it, but it all became a bit samey. But my favorite series was Evangelion. I still reference it every now and again when I come to do animation. I love the art style they used in the newer films, so I've tried to kind of like emulate that in my animation to make it have that polished look. But yeah, that would be my favorite. Michael asks, Andy, what is the video you're least proud of? The video I'm least proud of is episode 1 of Son of a Glitch. I think that could have been so much better. I was still learning what it was I was trying to do, so the commentary wasn't there, and it just kind of, I don't like watching that one anymore. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just don't like that one anymore. Thankfully, I refined my style, and I feel a bit more confident and comfortable in actually doing the commentary for these videos now, and it was just a bit of a learning curve, I guess. But I can't stand to watch that one anymore. Ugh. Matthew asks, how long does it take you typically to perfect a glitch before you record it and stick it on YouTube? It really depends on the type of glitch. The more technical ones can take hours, if not a week. The simpler ones, the graphic-y kind of ones, can just be like, you do it in one shot, it's not a problem. I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist, because what will happen is I'll get a really hard glitch, go, oh great, I got it, and then it'll be like, yeah, but it's really sloppy, it doesn't look good, and then I'll have to do it again until it looks just about right. So it could take a long time, it could take a short time, it just depends on the day and the glitch. Logan asks, pancakes, French toast, or waffles? I'm gonna have to go pancakes on that one. I love me some pancakes. Jeremy asks, have you ever made a game of your own? I'm actually working on something that I've been working on for a few months now, but it's still taking shape, and we don't know exactly what it's going to be yet, but I am technically working on a game, yes. I'll let you guys know more about the project once we actually have some gameplay, but for now, all you need to know is yes, I am working on a game. Benjamin asks, will you do any more collaborations like Son of a Glitch Fest? Right now, I don't really have any plans to do any more collaborations. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved working with Psycho on Son of a Glitch Fest. It was a lot of fun, and I realized I have a lot more in common with him than I first thought I would have, but we were talking about that collaboration for like 6 months before anything actually happened. Collaborations are quite tough. I mean, we both run big channels, so it's kind of difficult to kind of find the time to do these other projects as well, so I don't really have anything planned yet. If any YouTubers that I'm a fan of approach me, then I will probably do something with them, but right now, I don't have anything planned. Jesse asks, do you think Mario Maker will be as good as they say, and are you actually excited for it? I gotta be honest, I saw the game at the big Nintendo event that they had this year, and I wasn't massive about it. I just think it's a rehash. I think it's just Nintendo doing what they've always done, and just reinventing the wheel constantly. I might play it at some point, but to be honest, I'm not really fussed. Kerry asks, do you plan on doing the Souls games? Yeah, sure, why not? Shortly before being carried off to a mental institution. In all seriousness, I don't really have a big thing for the Souls games, so probably not anytime soon, but never say never. Will asks, what was your first gaming console? My first gaming console was a Sega Game Gear when I was about 5. I guess technically it wasn't mine, it was my sister's, but I used to play that. And I remember being 5 and we had Sonic the Hedgehog, and there was one jump that I just couldn't do, and I used to get her to do it. My gaming skills have come a long way since then, but yeah, the first games console I had was a Sega Game Gear, for my sins. Preston asks, what are some of the things you hate about video game companies and the industry as a whole? I think the thing I hate the most is when a certain kind of game is popular, everybody just wants to do that kind of game. So the thing I hate the most is probably a lack of variety. I just wish there were more times in a year where I could say, I've never seen that kind of game before, or I've never seen that done this way before. But that just happens so rarely because everybody just gets into a certain mindset where they're like, oh, this is popular right now, let's just do that. So I think I'd just like to see more variety. There is no one way to do certain things. I just want to see something I've never seen before. I guess the counter argument to that is everything's been done somewhere or some way, but then every now and again we do see something different. We see something done in a different way, and I think it is possible if people just think outside of the box, we could start seeing some real innovation and differences in games that we've never seen before. You have to remember that video games as a medium is all based on kind of imaginative things. You can do anything with it, so why are we always doing the same thing? So I think the staleness of the industry is what bugs me the most. Daniel asks, if all your friends were turned into food, would you eat them? Friendship or food? That is a loaded question. I think I would have to just just leave them be and not eat them. But I'll tell you, if any of them turn into donuts, they better start praying. Claytor asks, what got you into YouTube? Who are some of the people you want to work with, and how fun was the episode with Psycho? I think what got me into YouTube was seeing other videos and other YouTubers and thinking, hey, I can do that. It was a crazy idea, I never expected it to pay off, we just tried it out, it was a lot of fun, and then it just kind of all went crazy. Who would I want to work with? If we're talking inspiration-wise, I would love to work with maybe Markiplier, JonTron. I mean, those two people alone made me wanting to get into the craziness of making videos on YouTube anyway. And how fun was working with Psycho? It was tons of fun. I think we had one conversation that was about 3 hours long. It was just talking about anything and everything. He's a really cool guy. He is exactly what you think he's gonna be, and I loved working with him. It was great fun. Dale asks, what kind of toothpaste do you use? I believe you can really judge a person's character by their personal taste in toothpaste. I use Colgate Cavity Protection, now with more calcium, strengthens teeth, freshens breath. Andy asks, how many glitches have you done in your life? Well, let's see, we've done 49 episodes, there's 10, maybe 15, 20 glitches in each episode. We've done tons. I don't even know, I've lost track. I imagine it's somewhere in the hundreds maybe? Ian asks, is this what you do for a living? As of last October, this did become my full-time job, and I love it. It's a great thing to be able to do, something you actually love. But with this job comes a lot of long hours and a lot of late nights. And finally, Cole asks, any advice for beginning YouTubers? I think firstly, it's going to take a lot of work, it doesn't happen overnight. Depending on what you do, it's going to take a long time for you to be discovered, I guess. I think the biggest advice I could give is if you really want to do YouTube, just start doing it, just start making videos. Just bear in mind that it's not for everybody. A lot of people don't like the long hours, a lot of people won't appreciate the hard work that goes into these things, but just try it, you might like it. And that's it guys, thanks to everybody who sent me a question. If it wasn't answered in this video, chances are it was answered in the previous one. So go and check that video out if you want to see the answer. I did get a lot of questions, so I will be doing another one of these in the future, probably around 300,000 subscribers if we get there, we'll see what happens. But thanks very much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!